All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to your Tuesday edition of the Breakfast Club. How are you feeling today?
Great.
Feeling good.
Fucking standing.
Great.
Not that it matters.
I'm
Awesome.
so glad that some of you guys are doing so well. But for those of you guys who are not doing so well, for those of you guys who had a rough morning, a rough last night, whatever it is, the good news for you is it doesn't matter how you feel. It's what you do despite how you feel every single day that is your degree of separation from everybody else in your industry. It's the separation between the amateurs and the professionals. It's the reason why most agents fail to progress, and the exact reason why you're progressing right now. It's what you do despite how you feel, guys. So on this beautiful Tuesday, have you made the decision to push forward in your business, or you want to pack it up, go home, get the hell out of here? What do you want to do? Push forward or pull back, guys?
Push forward.
I'm happy about that, man. And what a great day yesterday. This paid in full call that we're doing right after the Breakfast Club, that we're rolling right after, right? Man, how powerful has that been for you agents who are now taking control of your 8 to 11? You getting results, guys? For those of you guys who are on that call, let me hear your voices. Those of you guys who are on that 8 to 11 paid in full after the Breakfast Club, who's on there?
I am.
I'm setting.
I am.
Okay.
And you guys are all kicking ass, and there's no reason, like there's absolutely no reason why we wouldn't be kicking ass, because we're working on our skill set at 7:30. We're jumping on the phones from 8 to 11, and we're getting the results. Yesterday was FSBO, first day of FSBO week. Robin Price made her first phone call for sale by owner, nailed it, and said, Robin, are you on this call this morning?
I am.
Robin, what happened?
I used this script exactly how we practiced it, and I didn't even have to deviate, and he was on board. And I have an appointment with him. Yep.
Just a quick 2-minute FSBO call, right? Went exactly the way that it sounded on the Breakfast Club. And guys, I'm telling you, right, we're going to prepare you for all of the objections. But if you get really comfortable using that script, right, using that just 2-minute FSBO call, you will get so many people who just go, yeah, believe it or not, right? And the only reason typically that you end up getting really any objections at all is by the way that you perform that script, right? Because if it's not done with confidence, you will create doubt in the person that you're talking to, right? People mirror you. So if you're not confident with what you're saying, guess how that person's going to reflect? With a lack of confidence, right?
Right.
And so that's what we've got to make sure that we do, guys. If we're going to nail this, we got to make sure that we nail it, and we've got the foundation, and we're practicing this in our role play sessions outside of this Breakfast Club. It will give you the power to get one appointment a day. One appointment a day is 5 a week. 5 a week is 20 a month. 20 a month is 240 per year. Cut it in half at a 50% conversion rate. Times it by your average commission, which is about 10 grand. You're making $1.2 million in the real estate business, guys, just by getting that one appointment a day. This is how important it is, guys. So we're going FSBO again today. Again, it's very simple. The way that we do this, guys, it's ring, ring. Dwayne, are you on with me?
I'm on.
Ring, ring.
Hello?
And I'm going to make this simple, guys. I'm just going to run through this really quickly. All right. And then we'll get into the objections. Dwayne, this is Chad Cooley with EXP. I was calling about your house over there on Lake Street. Dwayne, is that still for sale?
No, I decided to just try and sell it myself.
Yeah, Dwayne, I saw that it was on the market for sale by owner, and I wanted to reach out to you directly, find out why you decided to go for sale by owner rather than list with an agent.
Well, I figured I could do it myself. I just kind of got to save on some of those commissions. I know you guys are got those pretty hefty fees.
Yeah, it can be expensive sometimes, Dwayne. It sounds to me like your whole goal here is to just make sure that you walk away with every penny that you can and net the most amount of money. Is that right?
That's exactly right.
Okay, perfect. Dwayne, if I can show you a way to net you a lot more money than you can net on your own going for sale by owner, and do that in a shorter amount of time, then it sounds to me like that's your whole goal here, right?
Yeah, but I could do the exact same thing you guys are doing. I stick a sign in the yard, and I think I can get it sold.
Yeah, that's what most agents do, Dwayne. And if I had my choice of most agents, I would go for sale by owner too. Now, Dwayne, do you know the difference between getting your house sold and actually generating 4, 5, 6 offers on your property?
No, but what would you do different than what I would do?
It's a great question, Dwayne. The first thing that we would do is actually aggressively pursue buyers. Do you know what I mean by that?
No, I don't.
So Dwayne, most agents will just stick a sign in the front yard, list it online, and hope that buyers come by. We've got an entire database full of buyers who we actually know are looking for exactly what you have. Dwayne, and our job is to actually go out there and generate those offers, negotiate them strong, and end up netting you a lot more money. So Dwayne, commission aside, if I can net you a lot more money than you can net on your own by generating you a lot more offers, then it sounds to me like that's exactly why you decided to go for sale by owner in the first place, right?
I mean, that definitely does pique my interest.
Perfect. So Dwayne, before you make any decisions, let's get together tomorrow at 6. We'll go over exactly how we're generating our clients multiple offers, how we're leveraging that to get ultimately above asking price for a lot of sellers. And if I can make this make sense for you financially, Dwayne, then we can make some decisions from there. Now I've got time tomorrow at 6, or would 7 work better for you?
Well, I'm not ready to sign anything because I'd have to talk with the boss. I mean, she makes a lot of decisions in regards to this, because that could ultimately mean less shopping for her.
Yeah, Dwayne, my wife makes most of the decisions in my household as well. And now, was your wife on board with going for sale by owner? Did you guys both agree that you want to net the most amount of money so that she can have more money to go do what she wants? Is that the whole goal here for both of you?
Well, yes. Yeah, I would say yes.
Okay. Perfect. So Dwayne, I'm going to go ahead and overnight you what we call a pre-listing package. It's going to go over exactly what the market is commanding for your property right now, ways in which we're able to generate more offers, and how we're netting our clients a lot more money. Now, I want you to take a look at that with your wife when it arrives. Come up with a list of questions and concerns, and those will be the first things that we address when we meet at 6 o'clock, or would 7 work better for you and your wife?
Well, tell me this, what is your commission?
That's a great question. And I know that your whole goal here is to make sure that the bottom line is on point, Dwayne, and that you get the most amount of money possible. And commission aside, that's the first thing that I want to talk to you about when we meet. So can you make time for me at 6 o'clock, or would 7 work better?
You said that's the first thing we thought. Well, how much is that? I want to know so I can calculate, make my calculations.
Yeah, Dwayne, it really depends. My commission is typically 6%. Now, at the end of the day, Dwayne, what is more important to you? Is it the commission that you pay out, or is it the money that you end up walking away from this transaction with?
Just the bottom line.
Just the bottom line. And I know that it's got to make sense for you financially, Dwayne. I know that you're financially conscious, and for you and your wife, the ultimate thing is to make sure that you walk away with every penny possible. So if I can make this make sense for you financially, for you and your wife, and get this property sold here in the next week, then I know that would make sense for both of you. Okay. And I do want you to talk to your wife about that pre-listing package. And I want you guys to come up with all of those questions, all of those concerns, Dwayne, so that you guys can make the best financial decision for you and your family. Now, what works better for you, 7, or would 8 o'clock be better?
Well, I would say I do, Chad, like what you're saying, but did you just say that you can get it sold in a week?
Dwayne, right now, we're putting properties on the market. We just took a property active the other day, Dwayne. Within 4 days, we had 9 offers, and we sold it for $82,000 above asking price. And that's exactly what you guys want. Is when you do put this house on the market, right? You want to make sure that you get off to a strong start, Dwayne. And if you don't have any offers on your property right now, imagine what we could do if we put some marketing power behind it. So I want you to think about those questions that you have, Dwayne. I want you to come up with any of those concerns, and I'll demonstrate a track record of what we've been able to do for our sellers so that you and your wife can make that decision. Okay?
Yeah. Hey, I love
Perfect.
it. 7 o'clock. I'll make sure wife is there.
So guys, give me some feedback really quickly.
Wow, you're on
How many
fire.
people
Chad,
did I
I
put
would
to
say
sleep?
number
Those are the
one, what I like
objections.
about what you were,
He went back to his goal every single time that he brought
I
up
like
an
how you
objection.
kept using my name to draw me into the company.
Knowing who I'm talking to? I think, is Dwayne cutting out, or is that me? Am I cutting out on you
Dwayne.
guys?
It's Dwayne.
Can,
All right.
can you hear
Perfect.
me?
So-
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Go ahead.
Can you? I was saying I really liked how you kept saying my name. It caused me to stay focused in the conversation and draw my attention back to what you were saying. Thought that was kind of tough.
Just commanding the attention, right? And so I didn't want to go into all
Correct,
those
correct.
objections, but since Dwayne was slinging them out, I just had to answer them, right? And so, guys, it's like there was no contention there, right? He was telling me things that I interpreted as concerns and not objections, right? That I interpreted as right? What's the goal here, right? We're on the same, and I kept tightening up that goal, right? Kept getting him back on the same page. And that's really all you have to do. But the basic FSBO premise is, first question, is that property still for sale? The second question, why did you decide to go for sale by owner rather than list with an agent? We want to draw out that motivation, right? And then we offer them exactly what they want, right? Dwayne, if I could show you a way to net you a lot more money than you can net on your own and do that in a shorter amount of time, well, then it sounds to me like that's why you decided to go for sale by owner, right?
Yep.
Now, again, guys, really quickly, so for some of you guys, this script might not work. And if it doesn't work, I can tell you the number one reason why it doesn't work. Do you guys want to hear me? Do you guys want to know?
Yep.
Yes, Chad.
Why?
It's the way that you ask the questions, right? It's the way that you ask the questions. Are you asking the questions as if you are entitled, or are you doing it based off of curiosity, right? Are you beating around the bush, or are you getting directly to the point, okay? These people have had enough of beating around the bush and customer service, right? What we're turning this conversation into is a business conversation. You know what I mean? And so I want to make sure that when you guys are delivering this script, that you're asking your questions with intent and people can feel like you're asking the question for a reason and it's not just a worthless survey question, if that makes sense. So who wants to jump in and get better at their job than they were yesterday and get better at the number one demographic where most agents can't get out of their own way, refuse to call because they don't have the confidence? How great would it feel to have the confidence? Who wants that confidence?
Sienna.
Diego Howard.
Yeah.
Diego
Yeah.
Howard.
Yes.
Love it. Justina, you are up. Are you ready to go?
Yes.
Justina, you are going to call. Who wants to be a for sale by owner this morning?
I
Diego
do.
Howard.
All right, some of you guys are sleeping on me this morning. Some of you guys are afraid to participate. Some of you guys haven't hit that unmute button once, and I want to make sure that you guys are participating, because if you're
Charlene
the type that's holding back, right, then you're the exact type that needs to jump in. Justina, call Charlene Little.
Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, my name is Justina Everline. I'm calling with eXp Realty, and I was calling about your home over there on 123 Main Street. Is that home still for sale?
It is, but we're selling it ourselves, Justina.
Yeah, I did see that it came on the market for sale by owner. Let me ask you, Charlene, what made you guys sell it for sale by owner instead of hiring a powerful agent?
I've sold houses before, don't want to pay the commission.
So what I hear you saying is you want to net the most amount of money. Is that correct?
Of course, always.
And if I could show you a way that I can net you more money than you can net on your own and do it in a faster amount of time, well, that would just make sense for you, right?
I don't think that's possible.
And that's exactly why we need to meet, Charlene. So I have time on my schedule today at 5 or tomorrow at 7. What time works better for you? Today at 5 or tomorrow at 7?
Neither time. We are not looking to list. If you have a buyer, you're more than welcome to bring them by. I'll pay a commission, but yeah, we're not looking to list with an agent.
And Charlene, how come you guys put the home on the market in the first place?
I don't think that matters though, but if you do have a buyer, you're more than welcome to bring them by.
Let me rephrase the question. What was your guys' plans next?
We're just going to be doing some other things. It's not our primary property, so.
This is where I freeze. I always freeze.
This is how a lot of
Justina, there's a nugget of information in there. What nugget did she just give you? What powerful information did she just give you?
It's an
It's just
investment property.
Investment
It's an
property.
investment property, right? But she also said something important that you just dismissed. Okay. And this is where sometimes the disconnect happens, right? Now you said, Charlene, if I could show you a way to net you a lot more money than you can net on your own and do that in a shorter amount of time, then obviously that's why you went for sale by owner in the first place, right? Justina, do you remember Charlene's reaction to that?
I don't see how you're going to do that.
No, she said, I don't think you can do that, right? It wasn't a question, it was a statement, right? And there's a difference between how are you going to do that or I don't think that's possible. You know what I mean? One is like, yes, I would love that if it happened. And one is like, you can't do that. That's impossible. You know what I mean? And so she said it in such a negative way that what she's really asking you for is like you've got to dig into that a little bit more and find out what the block is, right? So Charlene, when you say you don't believe that's possible, what do you mean by that?
You know, most of you agents, you guys just stick a sign out there and that's it. And I can do that myself and not have to
Yeah,
pay $30,000 to have you guys do it.
That's exactly what most agents do, Charlene. And so if I were you and I had my choice of most of the agents in my marketplace, I probably would have went for sale by owner too, right? Now, it sounds to me, Charlene, like you don't really care how this house gets sold, as long as you walk away with the most amount of money possible, right?
Of course.
100%. Charlene, if I could bring some new techniques to the table, end up generating you a lot more offers than you can generate on your own, negotiate them strong, and make sure that commission aside, you're walking away with a lot more money than you would net going for sale by owner, then it sounds to me like that falls in line with what you're trying to accomplish, right?
Sounds good.
Are you being nice now, Charlene, because it's me?
No, I'm just telling you, it sounds good. I didn't agree to it.
Okay, all right, I'm just making sure. Okay, great. So Charlene, before you make any decisions, whether to keep going for sale by owner or work with me, let's get together tomorrow at 6. We'll go over exactly what we could command for your property in this market. And if I can make it make sense for you financially, Charlene, then we can make some decisions from there. Now I've got time tomorrow at 6, or would 7 work better for you?
You know, it sounds good. I think I need to talk to my spouse first, though. I don't think he's interested in listing with an agent again.
Yeah, and trust me when I tell you, Charlene, I have a wife too, and I understand how that process works. Now, was it your husband's decisions to go for sale by owner in the first place?
Yes.
And ultimately, did you guys both decide that the reason why you wanted to go for sale by owner is because you wanted every dollar that you could possibly get back on this house?
Every single dollar.
Exactly, right? And so it sounds to me like we're aligned with the same goal, Charlene, me, you, and your husband. And so from here, I'm going to go ahead and overnight you what we call a pre-listing package. It's going to go over exactly what the market demands for your property right now, what we've been able to do, and how we've been able to generate our clients above asking price. And I want you to take a look at that with your husband. Come up with a list of all your questions, all your concerns, the bottom line that you guys want to net on this property. And those are the first things that we'll talk about when we meet at 6 o'clock, or would 7 work better for you and your husband?
What's your commission, Chad?
Charlie, my commission is 6%. Now, at the end of the day, what's the most important thing to you? Is it the money that you pay out in commission? Would you gladly pay a 6% commission if it meant that you netted up to 10% more?
I don't think I'd pay 6.
Okay, and that's negotiable, Charlene. We don't have to talk about commission right now. I know it's important to you, but at the end of the day, I know that you advertise on Zillow, correct? You've got your property on Zillow. It's where I got your number from.
Correct.
Did you know that according to Zillow, where you're listing your property, you can actually net up to 16% more by hiring a powerful agent, one who's actually good at their job? Charlene, do you know why?
No, why?
Charlene, in this market, anybody can sell your property. The question is just for how much. And if you hire an agent with the resources to bring multiple offers to the table, negotiate them strong, you can actually find out how much your property is worth. And it might not be worth what you're asking for right now. It could be worth a lot more. Now, do you know how we determine value, Charlene?
How is that?
It's how much the top bidder is willing to pay for your property. And my job, Charlene, is to bring as many buyers to the table and get them to compete to buy your house. And that's exactly how you go about getting exactly what the market commands. And the first thing that I want to talk to you about when we meet at 6 o'clock tomorrow, would 7 be better for you?
Let's do 6.
All right, give me some feedback, man. I just can't stop when people keep giving me objections. Can you guys give me some feedback, please, Charlene? I'm going to start with you.
I think it was very concise how you kept circling around and coming up with solutions versus no matter how much negativity that I thought, you always found a solution sounding answer to my problems or my objections.
I'm getting you to agree to dumb things that you can't really disagree with, right?
Right.
I mean, you can't disagree with the more offers you get, right? The higher your asking price, right?
Correct.
You guys can't disagree with that. You know what I mean? And your house is worth exactly how much the top bidder is willing to pay for it. You can't disagree with that, guys, can you?
No.
No.
No, you can't.
And by getting her to agree to those things, what position does it put Charlene into? It puts her in a position where she's like, you're right. More resources mean more money. And she said that to me like 30 times. So by the end of the call, right, we've already agreed that resources matter, right? The more offers you can get matter. We determined that financially it's important for her and her husband both to get that bottom line. We agreed that the only way to do that is to make sure that we get as many offers to the table as possible, right? So we're eliminating objections by Charlene agreeing to also the method, if that makes sense. You know what I mean, guys? And
Yep.
so I went
Yeah.
outside of the scripting box there, right? Because most of the time, to be honest with you, it's not that complicated. You know what I mean? It's not. But I believe in what I'm saying, right? I'm agreeing to the goal, and all I'm trying to do is deliver her what she's telling me that she wants. You know what I mean? But so Justina, when you made that call and she said you can't do that, right? Or I don't believe that you can actually do that. You know what I mean? That is like a cut you off. I don't believe what you're saying. And so sometimes people will say, hey, you need to address this shit with me real quick, right? Before I agree to anything, you need to address this. And Charlene said that to you, but you didn't hear it. You kept on asking for the appointment, right? And I get why, because anytime somebody asks, I don't see how you're going to do that, or how are you going to do that? You want to defer to the appointment, right? But if it's, you can't do that, that's impossible. You know what I mean? Then it's like, okay, that's Charlene indicating to me that I got a little bit more work to do, if that makes sense, guys.
That's
Yeah,
the part I
roll
need
just
to
right over
practice
that.
on.
Yeah.
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 100%. Okay. So make sure that you are listening to their response. And if they're agreeing, great. If it's, I don't see how, that's why we're getting together. If it's, nah, that doesn't make sense to me at all, right? It's like, okay, I need to step back in here. You know what I mean? Need to step back into the arena like a gladiator, pull out my sword and say, all right, we got a battle on our hands. Let's go. But these are the greatest conversations to have, guys, because again, like number one, Charlene's talking to you. And if they're talking to you, you have an opportunity to get it done, right? Because she didn't hang up on you. She asked you a question. Okay. And that should provide you so much more power and confidence, because you can't do anything once they've hung up the phone, right? And if they haven't hung up on the phone with you, it means what?
That they're
You
listening.
still got
They're
it. You still got a
There,
chance.
Coach.
Saying
You
there's a
earned your next
chance.
3 seconds.
And that's how I interpreted Charlene's like, I don't believe you, right? That's impossible. What I heard is actually, fuck, I'm still listening. What else you got? You know what I mean? And so that's what you got to hear. You got to hear that tonality, because that's what she was saying, right? I'm still here. You got to say something good. All right. So who wants to jump in here next?
Justina.
Everybody's like,
Shall I?
not me after
David
that.
is.
Sienna,
For sure.
Sienna, I'm going to have you jump in here. Okay. And guys, I don't want to get too caught up in the harsh objections. Okay. What I want to make sure that we do is get through the process. And by Wednesday, tomorrow, we'll start getting it spicier and spicier. But I want to make sure that everybody is confident enough to lay that foundation. Because if you're confident enough to lay down the basic 2-minute conversation, just like Robin Price did with her first FSBO call yesterday, the call will go just like that, because you don't have to complicate it, right? We'll learn to get better and fight for the people we need to fight for. But right now, let's just make sure that we stay on course and we just get that pattern down pat. Who wants to jump in here? Sienna did? Great. Sienna, give me a call. Let's go.
Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, Chad, this is Sienna Bovenkamp, Jones Collective. I'm calling about your home over there off of J Street.
Yeah. Hi, Sienna Bovenkamp. Listen, Sienna Bovenkamp. Okay. My house is for sale by owner. If you're an agent who's calling me trying to get a listing, my house is for sale by owner. Okay. Not listing with an agent. It's for sale by owner. Got it?
Got it, Chad. I totally understand. Now tell me, why did you go for sale by owner instead of with an agent?
Very good. Take out the I totally understand. You don't work at Verizon, right?
Okay.
All right. It's not like, oh, I totally understand, sir. However, there's nothing we can do, right? That's the most repulsive thing that people can hear. Okay. No, I totally understand. Just say I saw that. Yeah. See, and I saw that you came on the market for sale by owner. Why did you decide to go for sale by owner? So, Sienna, I'm for sale by owner.
Got it. I saw that it was for sale by owner. Now, why did you list that way instead of with an agent?
Well, because I can sell a house. I can sell this house on my own. I've sold 10 houses in my lifetime. It's not rocket science, and I don't need an agent to sell this house.
And Chad, I totally agree that you could sell this home on your own. Now, what price are you hoping to sell it for? Do you just want it gone, or do you want to walk away with the most amount of money possible?
I'm not taking anything less than 800,000 for this house. It's priced at 800,000. So I'm not paying a commission when I want to get 800K for this house.
Okay, I hear you there. I definitely don't want you selling your house for anything less than it's worth. Now, if I could show you a way, Chad, to get you your price and earn you more money than you could on your own, would that make sense for you?
Yeah, but the house is priced at top of the market. It's 800,000, right? And so you're going to come in here and try to charge me $60,000 in commission or whatever you guys make, and I'm not paying it because that means I'm going to walk away with less. So I'm going to put the house up for 800. I'm going to try to sell it on my own, and then you know, if I can't do it, then I'll reach out to an agent. But at this point, I don't need one.
Okay. Now, Chad, I have very competitive marketing by generating buyers. That's what my team and I do. We actually specialize in getting for sale by owners more than they could on their own and netting them more money than they can just listing by themselves. Now, would making more money make sense for you, Chad?
Obviously, but I don't see how you're going to do that when you charge $60,000 in commission. What's your commission?
Yeah, my commission is 6%. However, I know
you guys want to charge me $60,000, and that's not going to happen. There's no way in hell I'm paying $60,000 to sell my house. It's ridiculous. It's preposterous. You guys make way too much money.
Are you worried about paying commissions, or are you worried about the money that you're walking away? Because if I could guarantee you that I get you more money than you could on your own, even with paying a commission, then that would be the best plan to go with, correct?
Yeah, but how are you going to do that? That doesn't make any sense. What are you going to sell my house for $860?
Chad, I'm going to show you exactly how I do this tomorrow. I want to meet with you. Would 4 p.m. or would 6 p.m. work better? My marketing strategies and your net
Before you make any decision, hey, stop. Okay, now don't say like you got me right. What did I end with?
How are you going to do that?
How are you going to do that? Okay. Now, Sienna, you can make two decisions here. You could say, okay, yeah, they've agreed to it, right? And all I have to do is kind of just like, have you ever seen the movie Happy Gilmore?
Yeah.
Just tap it in. Just tap it. Just give it a little tap, tap-a-roo. That's all you need. Okay. Now, the problem is if you get into this after I ask how and you start going into your marketing and all that shit, right? You're giving me something to object to. You know what I mean? You've already done such a great job of making yourself unobjectable, right? That the last thing that you want to do is start giving me something to object to when I've said, yes, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
So just how are you going to do that, Sienna? Are you going to list my property for $860?
Oh, sorry. Chad, how I'm going to make you more money than you could on your own is the first thing I want to talk with you in person about. Now, tomorrow at 4 p.m. or would 6 p.m. work better to meet?
Can we give it up for this little champion that we're developing this
girl,
morning?
Good job, Sienna.
Good job.
Really champion coming out of nowhere,
killed that
not
girl.
afraid of a for sale by owner, not afraid of the pushback. Sienna, you grew up in a hostile household, didn't you?
Maybe not really, I guess.
Such a terrible question. What I'm saying is, let's have therapy. What I'm saying is that you're not afraid of conflict, which I like. And the one thing that I just want to point out, I'm not even going to give you any criticism really quickly. The one thing that I just want to point out that was so badass about what she did, you guys heard a lot of conflict in my tonality, didn't you? You guys heard a lot of like conflict. I want to fight. I want to argue, right? And how many times did Sienna say shit like however or but, right?
0.
I want you guys to pay attention to her. I want you guys to pay attention to her tonality, right? She wasn't shook, right? She didn't take those things as objections. She just saw the opportunity and the goal. And she's following that pattern of let me just take it back and remind you that we're on the same page. We're on the same goal. You know what I mean? And so that's what I want all of you guys to say, because the minute, and I've heard a lot of these calls recorded from a lot of you guys making FSBO phone calls, like the minute somebody gives you pushback, how are you going to do that? It's like, my house is priced at this, right? Most people go, well, but, you know, and they start pleading, right? And if you're pleading, you're losing because you don't need to plead. All you need to do is hear the yes. Just hear the fucking yes. You know what I mean? And so I
Oh,
want you
yeah.
guys to really pay close attention to her attitude, the way that she approached it, the way that she dealt with friction and turn that into positivity and be like, yeah, exactly. That's exactly what we're talking about here. And that's called conditioning. You know what I mean? You're conditioning a person out of that negative mindset and into the how. And Sienna, you did a brilliant job of doing that. Proud of you. Can we give it up for her one more time, please?
Good
job, Sienna.
Good job.
Great job,
Guys, we are
Sienna.
starting off
Excellent.
that paid in. We
Good
are starting off
job.
that paid in full call right now, guys. What we do is we transition. Blake, who's been doing an excellent job, is going to pop in, get your goals, and you're going to make your prospecting calls from 8 to 11 and get listing appointments like everybody else did yesterday. Okay. But it starts with making sure that you've got that time allocated to the actual action part, because it was 3 things that we talked about at the beginning of the year. It was a commitment to show. You already did that. A commitment to skill build. You already did that. Now it's a commitment to action that's going to lead to you getting your goals. And maybe you don't want to do 100 deals a year. That's okay. This 8 to 11, this breakfast club will put you in prime opportunity to get that 100 deals a year. But if you don't want it, that's okay. Still, that 8 to 11, that skill building will put you on pace to smash whatever goal you have for yourself and make that a lot easier. So on the count of 3 on this beautiful Tuesday, and don't forget about our 11 a.m. sales meeting, guys. How many of you guys are going to set listing appointments? And if so, count of 3, how many? 1, 2, 3. Let's hear it,
Angelina
please.
got
One.
3.
It's free today.
Let's go.
1.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hit records on the demos.